everyone, Andrigats here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share some very useful tips on how to farm Luredrop and be as efficient as possible. Whether you're looking to make some gold by selling it raw or using it for alchemical crafts, this guide will give you the tools you need to make the most out of your efforts. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start. First of all, let's see what is the best route for farming Luredrop. I have recently discovered about this sweet spot and is located in the Ringing Deeps, specifically in the northern area. Luredrop tends to spawn in more distant places, usually high up or inside cave systems, and because this area has a lot of those, this herb tends to appear more often. Luredrop is essentially the rare spawn of Mycobloom, but for some reason I see it spawning most often here compared to the rest of Kazalgar. Before you go ahead and start grinding though, you should know that because of the profession's overhaul, you'll get the most out of your farming sessions if you invest a good amount of knowledge points in your tree to boost your finesse, skill and other stats. I've actually made a whole video on setting up a new character's professions, maximizing knowledge points and catching up even if you're just starting now, so be sure to check it out after obviously seeing this one. I promise you it will give you a head start on collecting points fast, and the best of all, you can do it at any point that you start farming, even very far into the expansion, but like I said, I explain more into that video. What I would like to discuss here though is of course where you should invest your knowledge points to make Luredrop farming as efficient as possible. Oh, and by the way, if you stick till the end, I promise you'll be gathering herbs at the speed of light. First and foremost, I recommend unlocking the botany spec and putting all 40 points into it to unlock the final node. This allows you to gather herbs while mounted, which makes a huge difference in the long run. However, if you are a druid or have the sky golem, you technically don't need to do that. You don't need to go all the way to the final node. That said, you still need to unlock the first node as it grants you a crucial perk, restoring 1 vigor every time that you collect an herb. Trust me, this is vital for not having any downtime, making your farming sessions much smoother. On top of that, the botany spec provides the largest boost to deftness, which basically it's a direct impact on your gathering speed. Being able to pick up herbs faster is a significant advantage, especially since they often spawn near mobs that can, well, slow you down. The quicker you manage to gather the herb, the less you'll have to worry about those mobs, making your farming far more efficient and less frustrating. While the cultivation spec is also worth investing in, I recommend saving that for later, and we'll discuss that in a bit. But for now, to be truly efficient in Luredrop farming, basically having bigger yield and of course higher quality, you will want to unlock Carnivorous Connoisseur. To unlock this, you'll start by putting 5 points into Bountiful Harvest. I suggest investing 5 more here to increase finesse on herbs, which is again very crucial because basically it boosts your chance of yielding extra from the same node. Given how small herb quantities are nowadays, even a little finesse can make a big difference. There is no need to max this out immediately as our main focus is on Luredrop farming, though you can always come back to it later. After all, it still gives 1 skill per point, but that's not as impactful for now as there are far better places to allocate your points. One of those is the Carnivorous Connoisseur, which significantly boosts your overall skill with Luredrop and enhances everything related to it. Skill equals higher quality, finesse will grant you bigger quantity, and deftness will allow you to gather it faster in case there is a big competition with other farmers. Overall, it's a great boost to Luredrop and you definitely need to unlock fully this spec. Once you have unlocked this, you have 2 options. You can either circle back to cultivation or you can go to overload. If you decide to go with cultivation, I suggest just basically investing up to 25 points to gain additional finesse and deftness. There is not really much of a point investing more, of course again you can come back to it later. And let's talk now for overload. It's better if you start with 5 points at least to unlock its sub-specialization. After that, I recommend going with Irradiated Overload, and there is a good reason behind it. First of all, for the purpose of this video, you should always use the Overload ability on irradiated herbs. These can be easily spotted by far, as you'll see them accompanied by pink arcane glow. Activating this ability on those herbs will change the ability into arcane duplication, letting you basically copy the next herb that you harvest. It's worth mentioning here that it doesn't have to be the same herb that you did overloaded, meaning that you can strategically use it to duplicate Luredrop. So just fly around and find a Luredrop and use the overload ability to make a duplicate. And not only that, but by fully investing 40 points into this sub-spec, you can make 2 duplicates per overload use. Just be cautious. If you do die before using the duplicate ability, you will eventually lose it. Let's just say I died for the purpose of this video so I could test it. And definitely not because I was trying to mine while sitting on a bomb. Okay, returning to the profession trees. The base cooldown is 12 hours, but each herb that you gather reduces the cooldown further. For me, it usually takes about 5 minutes before I can use it again. You can further decrease its cooldown by unlocking more nodes in the initial overload tree, but the reduction rate is quite minor. The real goal, of course, that we are investing points here is none other than getting to the final node and getting a second overload charge. This will allow you to overload 2 irradiated herbs, which is obviously more efficient. You can always work towards reducing the cooldown of the first one while you are still trying to find a Luredrop to copy. This is the path I'm following in the profession tree, and based on thorough research and farming quite a lot, it seems to be the most efficient way to allocate your points. But if you have any other recommendations, let us know in the comments. However, besides the profession specs, there are additional ways out there that can boost your effectiveness, and that's what we'll discuss right now. One simple way to enhance your gathering efficiency is by equipping green profession tools and accessories. If you have some spare artisan's equity, you can even order blue quality tools via the crafting orders. These provide better stat boosts, but each piece requires 300 artisan's equity, so they are not as easy to come by. It's worth noting that the tool stats can be customized to suit your focus. You can choose perception, finesse, or deftness. For example, if you are looking to quickly catch up on professional knowledge, I recommend prioritizing perception. Perception is basically what increases your chances further to gather rare items, like, for example, knowledge roots that grant 1 knowledge point each. Once you are caught up, you can swap to a different tool that boosts either deftness or finesse. The perception does really work wonders and impacts how fast you can catch up. And you can really tell that just by looking at my points. When I started jewel gathering, I used the perception focus tool for herbalists, and it helped me caught up faster compared to mining, which I'm still like 20 points behind. Furthermore, you can enhance the tool with additional stats by buying an Algari enchantment from the auction house. While catching up, you can stick to perception, but after that you can transition to either finesse or deftness. Speaking of deftness, another easy way to boost it is by using a Darkmoon Firewater. You can purchase it from the auction house, or you can pick it up from the Darkmoon Fair. It provides a 15% deftness bonus, which speeds up gathering and improves your overall results. And last but certainly not least, don't forget to grab a Phial of Truesight. This invaluable item allows you to spot camouflage herbs, which are a modified hidden version of a regular herb. Being able to see and gather these hidden herbs is crucial for maximizing your yield and overall effectiveness. It's pure math, right? Like, if you can see more, you will gather more. In addition to this ability, the Phial also grants a boost to perception, increasing your chances of obtaining the rare drops. Keep in mind that the Phial's rank doesn't affect the ability to see the camouflage herbs. All ranks provide the same buff. However, a higher rank Phial grants more perception, which in return increases the rate of finding rare catch-up knowledge items. These items will help you unlock more nodes in the profession tree, allowing you to gather Luredrop in greater quality and quantity over time. The Phial's effect lasts for 30 minutes, and you can refresh it by consuming another one to maintain the buff. And now let's get to the fun part, the results. After a quick farming session of 1 hour using Darkmoon Firewater, a Phial of Truesight, and optimizing my stats, here's what I managed to gather. I did get all of these Luredrop along with other herbs and ores. I was actually dual gathering, but mostly I was focusing on getting as much Luredrop as I can. There was a lot of competition in the area, lots of gatherers, lots of druids, and yeah, sometimes I would end up losing the herb altogether, so the results could be better in quieter times. Keep in mind I have caught up with my professional knowledge, but there's still room for improvement, mainly because I haven't acquired the blue profession equipment yet. The reason behind it is because at the same time I've been splitting the acuity between herbalism and mining, so my focus was a bit divided. That being said, you can take full advantage of the artisan's acuity from your second profession and funnel it directly into herbalism. This way you can craft better tools and maximize your results. Yeah, I think this is pretty good considering that I do get other useful herbs and ores which I can sell and use in other professions for extra profit. And undoubtedly this farming has been one of the most efficient methods for me to increase my gold and be able to afford the Brutosaur. If you stay till here, wow, you are a dedicated farmer, and I'll give you a bonus tip which you might not know. To be honest, I completely forgot about it, even though I did actually knew about it in the launch of the expansion. So my brother reminded me about it, and here I am. The final tip I have for you is truly a game changer, and it's an incredible 30% boost to your gathering speed. To activate this, head to the Weaver's Lair in Ask Ahead and make a pact with the Weaver, the far left choice. This grants a world buff to your entire warband, increasing both crafting and gathering speeds. The best part, this buff works across all of Castlegar, including the area where we are farming Luredrop. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to test it myself yet since I'm currently packed with a Vizier, but I will definitely switch for the next reset. If you are farming Luredrop, make sure to activate this, guys, it's a huge advantage. This will give you a serious edge, making you the fastest farmer out there. And yeah, that's pretty much all, guys. As always, thank you so much for sticking around, and make sure to drop a like if you have found this video helpful. Don't forget to subscribe for more WoW coverage and hit the bell to stay up to date. Good luck with whatever you're doing, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!